Martin Peralta, he hasn't hit at all. Struck out looking his first time, struck out swinging his second time.
And we talked about him being the key here, and Haas has been able to keep him under control. A guy like Martin, who's a free swinger, he can hurt you at any time.
On the ground, hard to short, Lansing. Across to McDonald. Sides retired. Easy inning for David Haas. Wichita State drawing closer. We go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Wichita State still leading Arizona State 3-1.
Depend on AT&T Long Distance thanks to the remarkable people who put our equipment to the test.
I love wrecking things. This is a special laboratory. Here we create disasters, one disaster right after another. Why do we do all this? Once we understand how these things can destroy long-distance service, we can build equipment that'll stand up to it.
We're reaching further to bring your world closer.
Yeah, the storm's over.
AT&T, the right choice.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Napa's best tool sale has the best deal.
Arizona State got a run off David Haas in the fifth inning. In the sixth, he threw only 6 pitches, Joe. 1, 2, 3.
Well, obviously he gathered his momentum back and got himself going again.
Let's see. Pretty good. ESPN, spell it out. Big Shocker fans looking for a national championship. Wichita State wins tonight. They will play for the championship Saturday afternoon. Dan Raley, the designated hitter, singled and drove in a run in the first inning. Chopped off the plate. Dodd gets over there nicely. He'll make the play himself. Good play by the pitcher. And another ground out. Wichita State scored by virtue of getting the first four men go on base against the starter, Linty Ingram. Lansing singled, stole a base, moved up on a wild pitch. Forbes walked, Raley singled for a run, Standiford singled for a run, and he steps in right now. And then Wedge hit into a double play, and the third run scored. And that's it. Ryan Dodd has come in to shut down Wichita State without a hit since the first inning. 11 groundouts. That's pretty good pitching. So that because he's very effective with a breaking ball, Joe. Right. Fastball to Standiford. There's the curveball.
That's a good pitch. He got it on the outside corner, too. Not a lot Standiford can do with that pitch.
Ahead on the count, 1-2. Junior left-hander Brian Dodd finds the one he likes. Missed with a fastball. Standiford at the plate has not walked in the College World Series. Came into the World Series second in the NCAA for career walks with 258. Man who gets on base a lot. Slow curve, line to center field, a base hit. Second hit of the game for Mark Standiford. First hit off Ryan Dodd. And the first hit for Wichita State since the first inning.
Well, Brian Dodd hangs the breaking ball with 2 strikes to Standiford, and he kind of fights it off in the right center field. See, the ball hung up there. If it would have broken down, I think he would have not have been able to do that, but it hung up there and he hit a single to center field.
Standiford now 6 for 11 in the World Series. Here's Eric Wedge. Hit into a double play in the first inning with a run scoring. Good fastball.
I think he's showing me he's not tired now. He's going back to the fastball.
And maybe that's part of of the plan, just to change with each inning what he relies on, the pitch he relies on. Confuse the Wichita State hitters.
Well, that's smart.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, Wichita State leading Arizona State 3-1. Changeup missed. Infield in double play depth. Outfield shaded slightly towards left on Eric Wedge. Arizona State infield defense. Breaking pitch and missed inside.
And there you see Tim Spear trying to tell him to get on top of that pitch.
Standiford getting a pretty good lead at first. Over. Count is 2-1 on Eric Wedge. Fastball down low. Let's see if Wichita State puts something on here. Ahead 3-1. Count 3-1 on Eric Wedge. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I think he can be aggressive if he wants, but I don't think he will here. I think he might wait till 3-2. But you can be aggressive when you have the lead and you're in the late innings, I think, and that way you can force the other team into mistakes.
Runner holds. Fastball misses. A single and a walk with one man out. And Wichita State threatening here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And warm-up action beginning in the Arizona State bullpen.
One of the things that Jim Brock cannot afford to do is get any further behind than he is now.
Last minor number 20. Gordy Farmer number 25. Minor was up earlier. Farmer joins him now.
Arizona State has a tough task in front of them already, and if they give up any more runs, it could become an impossible task.
Jeff Bonaquista takes a curveball over. Bonaquista struck out and grounded to second. Willis at first base playing behind the runner as Arizona State looks for 2. Fastball misses. Mark Standiford, the runner at second. Eric Wedge, the runner at first with one man out. First threat for Wichita State since the 1st inning. They've had only 2 base runners since the 1st against Brian Dodd. Slow curve in the dirt. Sam Rosen and Joe Morgan here at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Game 11 of the College World Series. Wichita State leading Arizona State 3-1. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And a trip to the mound by the pitching coach, Doug Kilgo. Former coach at McLennan Junior College in Texas, where he has brought several players from McLennan to Arizona State. And just checking with Brian Dodd. Make sure he's okay, but I would think, Joe, that if he does not get Bonaquista here, and even if he just gets him, we may see a right-hander come in with McDonald on deck.
Well, I would agree that it's probably what Jim Brock is thinking at this particular time. If he could just get me one more hitter, you know, I can handle it from here.
Count is 2-1 on Jeff Bonaquista. Missed with a fastball. So after getting the first man, Raley, single by Standiford and a walk to Wedge. 3-1 to Bonaquista. Good fastball. Now let's see what Gene Stevenson does on the full count. He says his players will like to steal third base a lot.
I don't think he can send him here because you have a left-handed hitter, and if he strikes out, the catcher has a clear shot to throw Standiford out at third.
Runners hold. Pitch misses. Bases loaded for Wichita State. A single and 2 walks have loaded them up. Jim Brock is poised. And no, he hasn't made a move yet.
Go ahead and get that easy 2 ball right here, Brian.
Looks like he's going to stay with the left-hander against Mike McDonald with the bases loaded and 1 man out. A key situation here in the ball game. It's still close. And McDonald has the power that can break it right open, Joe.
It's very key. I would want a fresh pitcher, I think, at this time to face McDonald.
Fastball down low. And especially since Dodd has been out of the strike zone against the last 2 hitters.
Well, I think he feels that he's done such a good job, he's going to stick with him. But I think right now we're going 1 hitter at least too long, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully for Jim Brock's sake, Dodd will get the ground ball or the strikeout.
Count is 1-1 on Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald's family there. His mom, his dad, his wife, and his baby daughter. Let's see what Mike does for the family here. With the bases loaded. Changeup hit hard to Higgins. The mustache for 1 on the first. Double play. On a hard hit ball to Higgins, they just turned the double play. It was close.
Very close at first base, but McDonald hits the ball hard. We saw a play last night where the second baseman turned the other way. He almost threw that one away, turning the opposite way. And very close play at first base.
1 and struck out 6. Number 7 man Tim Spear leads it off. Here in the 7th, he led off the 5th inning with a single and started the only rally for Arizona State. Breaking pitch.
We'll get another look at the double play turned by Higgins and Listash. He hits it hard. Higgins turns, throws to second. It's really a great play by the shortstop because that was not the best throw in the world. Double play.
And a good arm by Listash.
Yes, it was.
Whoa, that one got away from Haas.
We saw a play last night where Trujillo tried to backhand the ball, throw to second base, and he made a wide throw that allowed Stanford to score the winning run. If it's any consolation, I would have made the play the exact same way. I thought he made a good play by charging the ball, and then that's the way I always threw it to second base because it's the quickest way to get it to second base.
Fastball up the middle again. Lansing ranges, has trouble with it, but still makes the play. Lansing juggled it a little bit, found the handle, and threw him out.
We've seen some excellent infield play here in the College World Series because these are not easy hops. You see the ball shoot up and jump at him, and he was able to make the play because he was in front of the ball. If he would have been fielding that ball off to the side, he would not have been able to make the play. We've seen some excellent defensive play here by the infielders at the College World Series.
Here's Ricky Candelaria. He hasn't hit the way they had hoped. Since the first game, he did go 3 for 3 against California. Has been kept quiet by Wichita State. Their 2 meetings and by Florida yesterday. Candelaria, free swinger with some power. Up on the bat, faking the bunt.
I like that. As I said earlier, you have to try to do something to change what's going on out there. And I think a bunt might work for him, just playing back at third.
Fastball, check swing, pop fly, short right field. Bonacquista comes in and makes the catch.
After a shaky 5th inning, he's retired the last 6 batters in a row.
Mark Marquis of Stanford checking out the teams in the other division, hoping he'll get a chance to play one of them for the national championship Saturday afternoon.
But he has to wade through Cal State Fullerton first.
And we've see the Wichita State pitching. Cal State Fullerton has displayed superb pitching of Longo Garcia, who will go tomorrow night, and Mark Beck. Barola rips it into left center for a base hit. Audley gets over in a hurry and holds it to a single.
That's an excellent play by Audley to hold that to a single. Because with 2 outs, that's what you try to do, get an extra base hit, a double, and then a single, and you're right back in the ball game. Nice play by Audley.
Barola's second hit, 6 hits for Arizona State in the ball game. Here's Pat Listach.
There you see the ball in the gap. Nice play by Audley. He surrounds it, gets in front of it, and comes up firing. Good play.
Pat Listach struck out his last 2 times up.
And I think you better start swinging at that curveball a little earlier. You can't wait till you get 2 strikes and then chase a real good one. And I think David Haas will continue to throw him a lot of breaking balls.
On the inside corner. That looked like a hard slider.
If you're going to come inside, it better be hard. You can't throw a slow curve inside because it'll break right out over the inside corner and then the guy can handle it. Something hard will make you buckle a little bit because it looks like a fastball.
0-2 to Listach. On the outside corner with a fastball. David Haas, 7 strikeouts. 3rd time he struck out Pat Listach. Arizona State gets a runner on. They brought the tying run to the plate, but Haas wouldn't let anything happen. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. David Haas continues to hold down the Arizona State bats, and Wichita State continues to lead 3-1.
Why buy a heat pump during KG&E's Cool Air Sale? Because KG&E's offering big cash rebates or low financing and a 10-year warranty. Because you'll get lower electric rates for 9 months of a year, and that can save you up to $200 or more each year for more exciting things. For details, including a free computer energy estimate and Cool Air Kit, look for our coupons or give us a call.
Are we finally buying a house, or am I imagining this?
In the savings and loan business, we call that first mortgage euphoria.
Don't worry, honey. It gets more real with every piece of furniture you move.
You're right.
Okay, I have to ask one more time. You don't think we're taking on something too big?
Wichita Federal Savings would tell you if you were.
Well,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
I guess you would.
Seriously, I think you made a good buy on a beautiful house.
Oh, thank you.
What else can we do for you?
I don't know. Do you have any piano moving experience?
Fine pitching performances in the College World Series this year, and we're seeing another fine one tonight by David Haas and by Brian Dodd. But he may have come in too late because Arizona State was down 3-0 when he arrived. He's pitched 6 innings, faced 21 hitters, thrown 89 pitches, working ahead of the batters, allowed only 1 hit, no runs. He's walked 4 and struck out 2. Two of the walks came in the last inning. Pitching to Pat Mears, the center fielder, had him way out in front on that pitch. Situation developing. If Wichita State should win this game, they could advance through to the championship game and get through with only 2 pitchers, and that was one of the criticisms of the new format as it was established this year.
But I personally do not disagree with that. First of all, you use your depth in your league championships and regionals and whatever to get to the College World Series. I think when you get to the College World Series, we, meaning fans and everyone else, should see the best team that you can put on the field to represent your school. And with 2 pitchers, your top 2 pitchers, you can do that.
Mears pops it foul off the right side. Near the stands, Willis is over, and he has room to make the catch. Good play by Willis.
I think the last thing I would like to see from a fan standpoint is my 4th starter going against their 4th starter in the championship game. I don't think that's the way the championship game should be presented.
In this College World Series, Arizona State beat California behind Rusty Kilgo. Then Wichita State beat Arizona State. Arizona State came back to beat Florida behind Rusty Kilgo. Another complete game performance. The Shockers beat Florida behind David Haas with last out help from Jim Newland, and beat Arizona State behind Greg Brummett. Drive to deep right field. Back goes Rumsey. Makes the catch. Hit hard by Jim Audley, but Rumsey got back there okay. 2 men out here in the 7th inning. And here's Mike Lansing. Singled and scored in the 1st and walked in the 5th inning. Stolen a base, his 51st of the season. What a job Brian Dodd has done. You can't ask for more.
No.
Came in and shut the door on Wichita State. Arizona State has not been able to crack through, with the exception of the 1 run in the 5th inning against David Haas. Good fastball. 6-1 record this season for the big left-hander. His first year at Arizona State. He's a junior college transfer. Changeup. Pretty good pitch.
He's got a good changeup. His motion is good on it, and he's been able to get it in good position. He's been able to keep the ball down. The changeup, if you get it up, is not as effective as it is down, because if you get it up, you can see the ball better because it's closer to your eyes, of course. When you're looking down on the ball, you're looking at a different plane, and you can be fooled by the speed.
Slow curve stays outside. 2-2 with 2 outs. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Wichita State leading Arizona State 3-1.
That's why most scouts tell you they rather for pitchers to pitch down, because you're looking at an angle, looking down on the ball, and it's easier to fool you. When you get the ball up, you're on the same plane as your head, and you see it better.
Line to Listash at short. Hit it hard. Listash a couple of steps to his right to make the grab. A perfect inning again for Brian Dodd. He's allowed only 1 hit in 7 innings of relief pitching, but Wichita State still leads 3-1 as we go to the 8th. On the number 1 ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. This is an elimination game for them. They must win. If they lose, they're out. And Wichita State will play for the championship Saturday afternoon. If Arizona State can come back to win, same 2 teams meet up Friday for the right to play for the championship. John Finn, 1 for 3, his single in the 5th inning, drove in the only run off David Haas. In the dirt, ball 1. Haas has thrown only 16 pitches over the last 2 innings.
Well, he's throwing strikes, and it's forcing Arizona State hitters to swing. They do not want to get behind in the count and be a strikeout victim.
2, 3, and 4 for Arizona State in the lineup here in the 8th inning.
That was smart. I think he took that pitch on his own. He's leading off the inning. They need base runners, and he took a strike. I think that's a good play this late in the ball game.
Forbes even with a bag at 3rd, protecting against a possible bunt. And the bunt is pushed. Haas gets off the mound okay. Throws low, but McDonald makes the play. 1 man out. Didn't push it hard enough.
Well, I think he should have bunted it down the 3rd base line anyway, because Haas falls off toward the 1st base line. You have to look at the pitcher and see where he goes. Watch Haas. He falls over that way, and you're bunting it toward it. If you bunt it the other way, he's falling toward 1st. He has to reverse his path. You have to look at that before you decide what you're going to do.
I think the fact that Forbes was in at 3rd, he started even with the bag and was moving in a couple of steps as the pitch was delivered, may have made Finn decide to go to the right side.
Well, that makes you say you can't bunt in that situation if he takes that side away from you.
Higgins hits one deep to right center field. Mears is there, puts it away. Higgins hit it hard, but they had him played perfectly.
He's hit the ball hard a couple of times in this ball game and has nothing to show for it. Mr. Sun Devil.
Tough series for Kevin Higgins. Mears, the freshman center fielder, makes the play. 1 for 14 for Kevin Higgins in the World Series.
He took extra batting practice today, and he has hit the ball well a couple of times. I think that's the difference between baseball and any other sport. if you shoot a basketball with the right trajectory and you get the right touch on it, it'll go in the hoop. If you hit a baseball hard, it doesn't mean it's going to be a base hit.
Hit wide of third. Forbes gets over, guns him out. Gets Steve Willis to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 inning for David Haas. Wichita State is 3 outs away from moving to the championship game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-1. Shockers lead.
What's this? Looks like the Disney Channel price has been reduced like magic. Now current and new subscribers can get the best value in family entertainment for less. With programs for kids, families, and adults, it's like getting 3 channels in one. So bring your family together and enjoy the magic of the Disney Channel at its new lower price.
Now only $6.95 per month, and installation is free. Call Cablevision today for details.
Incredible furniture, incredible savings. Incredible.
Kellogg Buck is known for incredible savings on incredible furniture, but right now during our 3rd annual trade-in sale, you'll get special discounts just for trading in your old furniture for new. Bring in your old chair and we'll give you $25 towards a new one. Your old sofa is worth $100 on a beautiful new sofa. It's the Kellogg Buck trade-in sale going on now, east and west. Come in today with your old furniture and save up to $250 on new.
Kellogg Buck, incredible.
You by Wilson Sporting Goods Company. Where there's a will, there's Wilson. By Kodak 35mm cameras for the best pictures of your life. By Gold Star, the brightest star in electronics. And by Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, the best burgers in the business. Brilliant pitching from David Haas. P.J. Forbes has shown us good range. He's been an outfielder most of the season. Gene Stevenson has moved him in to play third base because he's got good range. He showed it on that last ball hit by Willis. Changeup from Brian Dodd is a strike.
As I said, he's got excellent motion with that changeup.
I don't think anyone would second guess Jim Brock for starting Lindsey Ingram tonight, but Jim Brock might sit there and say, boy, I should have gone with the big lefty.
Could have, yeah.
First 4 batters in the ball game did all the damage against Arizona State. Bottom half of the 1st inning. Dodd came on and shut him out. Lindsey Ingram did not get an out. Fastball hit in the air, foul. Back into the crowd.
I'll tell you something, Jim Brock is a good baseball coach because he really understands his players well. He knows when Brian Dodd is tired. He knows when he has to go get Lindsey Ingram. I don't think he could have taken him out any sooner than he did. I think he took him out at the exact right moment because you had to give him a chance to try to get out of the 1st inning, and he did not. So my hat's off to Jim Brock because I think he does a good job with his kids.
A single, a walk, 2 more singles, and a double play, and Wichita State had 3 runs. Hit up the middle, look at Dodd. Stabbed it. He's fielded his position very well.
Well, he's in good fielding position after he releases the ball. I think that's the key. We've got a visitor here in the booth. Oh, the maniac.
The maniac is here. Gene Stevenson. Nervous excitement. Well, maybe he's controlling that excitement. There's a lot of nervousness. He was here in the World Series in 1982, and his team finished 2nd to Miami that year. Dan Raley, the designated hitter. He's driven in a run. Only 2 RBIs in the ball game. The 3rd run scoring on a double play for Wichita State. Did he go around? Foul tip.
Foul tip.
Raley with an RBI, Standiford with an RBI, then Wedge hit into the double play with a run scoring. 3 singles for Arizona State in the 5th inning produced their only run. Fastball misses, 2-1. Gene Stevenson's wife and his daughter rooting for the Shockers. 1 more, that's right, 1 more inning. They'll be in the final. Dodd misses, 3-1.
90% of the game. I guess maybe he was right. I argued with him over that on several occasions.
Good fastball. Full count.
There are a lot of people who subscribe to the theory that good pitching will stop good hitting. I disagree with that. I think great pitching will stop good hitting, but not just good pitching.
Quite an effort by Brian Dodd, who came on in the first inning. Missed. Fifth walk given up by Brian Dodd. And Mark Standiford coming to the plate with a runner on first and one man out. Warm-up action in the bullpen.
Who is that behind you?
Hey, our friend the Maniac is here as Gordy Farmer, number 25, Blas Minor, number 20, warming up. Maniac's had a great time. You've done a great job, pal. And you made a great fielding play down at third base. Good hands. That's right. What, you want a bonus? You want a contract there, huh? Two righties still warming, and Jim Brock will let Brian Dodd continue as he goes against the tough Mark Standiford. Standiford 2 for 3 in the ball game. One hit against Brian Dodd. And 6 for 11 thus far in the World Series. Hit hard. Pass. Pham at third and down the line. Raley around second on his way to third. Standiford heading for 2. The throw offline and he's safe. That time Pham did not get in front of the ball, hit down the line.
Well, he was playing for a double play there. He was trying to backhand it and be in position to throw to second. And there's the old saying, you have to catch it before you throw it. But he was actually getting in position to throw to second. That's what he was doing. He was going to field it across his body, turn, and fire to second to start a double play. But it was hit like a shot, too.
Dub Kilgo, the pitching coach, is coming out. And now he's going back.
Well, he's going back because I think he was feeling like they might bring up another pinch hitter if he comes out. But now,
no, I think what they do is walk wedge to load the bases
to get to
the left-hander.
Well, I still think he wanted to take him out.
Kilgo's still on the top step. They're going to pitch to him. Well, let's see. What are we going to have?
Oh, they're going to have an appeal play.
At second. Okay. Arizona State's first game of the series, there was an appeal at first base, and Barola was called out for missing it. Since then, Arizona State has appealed several times. Now, out to the mound comes the pitching coach, Dub Kilgo. Do they walk wedge and load the bases and face the left-handed hitting Bonaquista and look for a double play, or do they go to the bullpen?
I think he's going to go to the pen, personally, yes.
Bullpen for Gordy Farmer.
I think he feels like they've gone as far as they can with Dodd.
Farmer heads for the mound. Brian Dodd, after a great job, will leave with Wichita State leading 3-1 and threatening to get more.
It is no big deal.
It's a hassle.
Oh, it's called Master Care Car Service. Brakes, tune-ups,
alignments.
Gordy Farmer comes on to make his 17th appearance of the season, 9th in relief, a record of 6-0, but an earned run average of 5.43. 48 hits given up in 58 innings. Struck out 69. Control can be a problem for Gordy Farmer. He can get you the big out. He can also walk you into trouble.
Well, I think that's why they do not want to walk anybody to load the bases. And I think they're just going to go after Eric Wedge.
Runners at second and third on the double by Mark Standiford. You look at Lindsey Ingram, 17-game winner this season, but a flop in the World Series. 2 outings against Wichita State. They racked him up. Went only 2 innings plus in the first meeting last Sunday. Gave up 5 runs and did not get a hitter out tonight. Gave up 3 runs and stands to be the losing pitcher. Eric Wedge has walked 4 times in the series. Runner at third is Dan Raley. Runner at second is Mark Standiford. The infield is in, but about halfway at short and second. In all the way at first and third. Wedge takes a strike.
Yeah, they're halfway again. And Stevenson can put pressure on the Arizona State defense by sending Wedge on any ground ball and make Arizona Arizona State have to make a good play because Standiford would still be in scoring position.
Cindy Rayleigh, you mean?
Yes, Rayleigh. Send him in from third. I'm sorry, Wedge is the hitter. But send him in from third, and that will put pressure on the defense because Standiford can still go over to third on the ground ball.
Farmer ahead on the count. 0-2. Keeps Rayleigh a step closer toward third. Got him with a slider. And a big out. 2 men down as Farmer strikes out Wedge.
Here's a high curveball, but Wedge can't get to it. It's actually up and stays up a little bit. That's one of the toughest pitches to hit, a curveball that breaks late. And it's up because you know it's going to break, but you're swinging to get to it as it's coming down.
Now Bonaquista, the left-hand batter, steps in, and they will pitch to him. Okay. Well, I think I would have walked him. He's had a good postseason.
Well, I think the reason is they're not sure that Farmer can get the ball over the plate consistently. And if you walk him and pitch to Mike McDonald, who is right-handed, and he gets behind the count, he may not end up throwing a strike. I think that's the reasoning for this.
Bonaquista struck out, grounded to second, walked his last time up. He's hit well in postseason play. Good slider from Farmer, 1-1.
One of the things that Jim Brock believes is that against a good hitter, Farmer can get a good hitter out.
Bonaquista is 8 for 21 in postseason play. Again, the slider and a good one, 1-2.
He's throwing a very hard breaking ball.
Wichita State leading by 2. They want a couple of more. Rally caps are on.
If Farmer can wiggle out of this, it'll give Arizona a good lift going into the 9th inning.
1-2. Missed. Line away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Wichita State leading by 2 here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. A win by the Shockers would send them into the championship game. Jeff Bonaquista against Gordy Farmer. Comes back, knocks down the hard-hit ball, and Gordy Farmer does the job, gets out of the jam. Second and third, 1 out, gets a strikeout, and the hard grounder to third. And we go to the 9th, 3-1, Wichita State leading it. Finn comes up with a big play here. Bonaquista hit it hard. Finn knocks it down, recovers to make a play.
Come on, everybody, let's
John Finn at third base.
And the difference between the other ball, you see he does get over in front of this one because he only play has is at first base. He's trying to knock it down and throw him out, and he does so very well. The other play, he was trying to catch the ball across his body and go to second base to start a double play. Excellent defensive play, especially under that type of pressure with runners at second and third.
Wichita State wasted a couple of threats. One in the sixth when they had the bases loaded with one out, and McDonald hit into a double play, and then in the eighth, Arizona State now down to their last at bat. Dan Rumsey takes a ball from David Haas. Three to one, Wichita State leading Arizona State. Rumsey has hit the ball hard a couple of times.
Thing to do, no matter how well you pitch forward, when you get to the ninth inning, it's tough to close it out.
Good fastball, 2-1. Florida rallied against Haas for a couple of runs in the ninth inning in his first outing in the World Series. Jim Newland came on to get the last out in a 5-4 win for Wichita State. How about that? Wichita State has not lost a game with a lead going into the ninth.
Myself included was thinking fastball, and he throws a good breaking ball. Now you don't know what he'll do.
2-2 to Dan Rumsey. Hits it into left field. Long run for Oddly. He won't get there. A base hit. Rumsey around first on his way to second, and will make it with a double. And Arizona State will bring the tying run to the plate. A leadoff double for Dan Rumsey.
Not only is it key just to get a base hit, but it's even more important to get a double, because now that would allow you to get at least 3 shots at driving it, getting the tying run on base. As you can see, they were playing him around to right field, and Rumsey dumps it down the left field line, but he's on second base. His run doesn't mean anything, but it keeps the next hitters from hitting into a double play, as Peralta will get a chance.
Fastball, a good one. In knots. Struck out looking, struck out swinging, and grounded it short.
And on the ground ball, the shortstop, he swung at a bad pitch. It was not a hitter's pitch. It was a first pitch breaking ball down low, and he just put it on the ground.
Home run power coming up for Arizona State. Good slider. Peralta has had a couple of home runs in the World Series.
Well, he takes a big swing here at the high slider, but you can see he's a little late on it. He's actually behind the breaking ball.
12 home runs. Wichita State hoping to celebrate a victory. David Haas trying to close it out. Peralta trying to tie it. Check swing, tap. Haas gets the slow Peralta at first base. Rumsey moves up to third. One man out in the ninth.
It's an excellent pitch from David Haas. It's a breaking ball down and away. And all Peralta can do is try to check his swing, but he chops it off the mound. Comes Haas, and he makes the play at first.
Still a lot of power. Rumsey, the runner at third, but it's the man at the plate who is the big one. Tim Spear, the leading home run man for Arizona State, with 20, steps in. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. And behind him is Ricky Candelaria, 17 home run man.
And this would be a great spot for Tim Spear to make up for whatever he's done to make Jim Brock suspend him yesterday.
He was swinging for it right there.
But also David Haas went right after him.
One man out in the ninth. Wichita State leading 3-1. 98 pitches for David Haas in an outstanding performance. Bounced that one. Good block by Wedge. Bounced on the plate. Rumsey holds at third. No chances being taken by Rumsey.
Now here's a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's a nice play by Wedge, but it doesn't matter. Even if he throws it to the screen, it wouldn't really matter. only run that's important is the one that's at the plate right now, Tim Spear.
Big strike zone. Called it on the outside corner. Gene Stevenson liked it. Tim Spear didn't. Arizona State dugout. Fighting the nails. Haas ahead on the count, 1-2, with one out in the ninth. Got him! 8 strikeouts for David Haas.
Well, Haas went away with the last pitch. Now he comes back inside with a high fastball. And it's just tough to lay off of that pitch with 2 strikes.
And he threw a lot of heat. That had to be up in the high 80s at least. Last chance for Arizona State. It's Ricky Candelaria, who has 17 home runs. Outside corner with a fastball. Will this be the end of the line for the Sun Devils? After a great season, David Haas is trying to stop them on the outside corner again. Wichita State leading it. He just got a piece of it. Ricky Candelaria, a free swinger. At least once a game, he'll throw his bat. And that time, he did it to stay alive.
Well, he wasn't about to be called out on another pitch, you know, outside. The ball's outside, as you can see, and down, and he can barely reach it. But he gets a piece of it, and that's the only thing that's important. He stays alive.
And that's what those first 2 pitches did. They forced him to go after that pitch out of the strike zone. So here we go again. Haas 1 pitch away. Candelaria trying to keep it alive. Haas trying to put Wichita State in the championship game. Too much on that one.
Well, he was hoping that was going to be the last pitch of the ball game. So we want to put a little extra on it.
We'll try one more time. 1-2 on Candelaria.
Come on, Candy!
Oh, the churning stomachs right about now. And Wedge wants to go out.
Well, he wants to make sure that David Haas knows why he's calling certain pitches. I think if I was a catcher in this position, I would want the fastball outside or the breaking ball. It'd have to be outside. I wouldn't throw a strike with it. I would make him chase the pitch if I could.
Same pitches he threw on the first 2, even the first 3.
Yeah.
That's what you got to go with.
Just make sure that they're off the plate outside.
Hit hard, base hit to right field. Arizona State is still alive. Ricky Candelaria, what a job. Keeping it going. It's 3-2.
What happens is Haas gets the fastball in the middle of the plate. And there you see a good piece of hitting by Ricky Candelaria. There you see Rumsey comes in. He says, we're not out of it yet. And it's a 3-2 ball game.
And now Mike Barola, who has singled his last 2 times up. Gene Stevenson. Jim Brock had a chat with his coaches. His coach, Jeff Pendleton. Those last two balls have been hit hard. Candelaria going to right, Barola ripping one on the first pitch to left center. Now a decision for Gene Stevenson. Jim Newland.
Well, there's two decisions to be made. There's a line drive in the left field. You can see that they had him played perfectly. Oddly was playing just in the left center field, and that's where the ball went. There are two decisions to be made here. I think Jim Brock has to decide whether he wants Listash to hit in this situation. He struck out 3 times against David Haas, and I think they're trying to decide right now. It depends on if David Haas stays in there. You can't let Listash hit against him. I mean, he's been overmatched.
Gene Stevenson will stay with David Haas. In last Sunday's game, he had Brummett in a jam late in the ball game. Went out, looked him right in the eyes, and he said he never saw anyone more determined or sure that he could get a man out. Haas is convinced the coach he can do it. Listash will hit. Brock returns to the dugout. Arizona State has the tying run at second base. Wichita State needing one more out to clinch a spot in the championship game.
Maybe this will be just a confidence booster that Listash needs, because Jim Brock has shown a lot of confidence in this young fella.
Chopped off the plate. It's foul.
David Haas started him off with a fastball. He's been throwing a lot of breaking balls and had a lot of success with the breaking ball, but he threw him a fastball. Listash attacked it.
Listash grounded out his first time up. Struck out swinging in the third, struck out looking in the fifth, struck out looking in the seventh. Ricky Candelaria at second. Mike Barola at first. 2 men out in the top of the ninth. Wichita State leading Arizona State 3-2. Breaking pitch, pop foul, and will drift back into the crowd. Wedge.
I'll say one thing, that's the best swing he's had at that curveball all day, so maybe the confidence that Jim Brock is showing in him is helping him, because that was a pretty good swing. He had a good pitch to hit there. It was a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, but he has a good swing at it. Watch, this pitch is in the middle of the plate instead of on the outside corner, and he has a good swing at it.
Well, the Shockers were hoping stay in the ballpark, stay on the playing field. It didn't. Went into the crowd. So once again, David Haas is 1 pitch away from winning it. 0-2 to Listash. Base hit left field. Candelaria being waved in. The throw comes in. Candelaria scores, and the game is tied.
I tell you, that's a great success story right there. That is great.
Unbelievable. 3 straight singles with 2 men out, and Arizona State is tied at 3-3.
I cannot believe, but I tell you what, like I say, you have to really tip your hat off to Jim Brock.
Wow.
He gave Listash all the confidence in the world by letting him hit again after striking out 3 straight times against David Haas. It's another breaking ball, and he stays in very well. Watch his front shoulder. Stays right in there, and he pulls the ball into left field. Base hit. He had been pulling off of the breaking ball.
The outfield playing deep. There was no chance to get the runner, Candelaria.
Well, with 2 outs, you're not going to have much of a shot anyway, because he's going on contact.
Haas can't believe it. See the frustration, and Gene Stevenson came out. Haas went right to the dugout, and Jim Newland has come in from the bullpen with runners at first and second. 2 men out in the top of the ninth, but now the game is tied.
It's Steven Subaru Isuzu Value Sellathon with
against Florida. Record of 2-1 this season with 7 saves. This is his 31st appearance, all in relief. A hard thrower. He'll face John Finn. Joe, the biggest pitch for Arizona State, the biggest play was Candelaria fouling, throwing the bat at the ball on the 0-2 pitch, a low fastball out of the zone and staying alive on that at bat.
That was an excellent piece of hitting 0-2. He just got a piece of it. All you want to do is stay alive and maybe wait for the pitcher to make a mistake. He got a pitch he could handle, and now we're in a tie ball game.
Finn at the plate. Watches the curveball break over the outside corner. Barola, the runner at second. Excellent speed. Listash, the runner at first. He's got great speed. So the ball hit in the gap has a chance of driving in 2 runs. John Finn has 1 hit in the ball game to drive in a run back in the 5th inning.
Hitting with elimination on the line, coming through with base hits after there were 2 down. Excellent.
Now Newland trying to hold it right there to give Wichita State a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Ahead 0-2 on John Finn. Breaking pitch. Hit slowly to second. Standiford. Just in time. The pitcher went over.
And John Finn is complaining because he felt like he was blocked by the pitcher or interfered with.
Pitcher ran over and was a distraction to Finn running up the baseline. But nevertheless, the side is retired. Arizona State with 2 men out, rallying to tie the game 3-3. We go to the bottom of the 9th.
Introducing possibly the greatest lawn and garden tool ever invented. New Spray Guard liquid lawn and garden chemicals from Melnor. The child
count is 0-2 with a runner at third and 2 men out. He stays alive. Throwing the bat at the ball, he fouls it off. Stays alive, and on a 1-2 pitch got a base hit to drive in a run. Barola followed with a single, and then Listash followed with a single to tie it.
We get a look at another play here that ended the inning. John Finn is racing down the line, and watch the pitcher. Newland will come across in front of him and slows him down just a split second, and he's only out by a split second.
And now John Bible, the umpire, looks. He did not make a call.
Right.
And I wondered.
He is not supposed to cross in front of the runner like that. That's interference.
Well, it's not called. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning as Mike McDonald leads it off for Wichita State.
Because they actually made contact.
Good pitch from Gordy Farmer. So now it's up to Gordy Farmer for Arizona State. Came on. Runners at second and third and 1 man out. Got out of the jam. Senior right-hander. Good slider. McDonald chased it. Wichita State has wasted 2 threats in this game. And there's David Haas. He was 1 pitch away from putting his team in the championship game. He's done for the evening.
Not once, but a couple of times he was 1 pitch away.
Got him on a breaking pitch. McDonald is called out on strikes. 1 man out in the bottom of the 9th.
And obviously, when you score in the 9th inning to tie a ball game, momentum shifts to your side, and we see that exhibited here by Farmer throwing 3 pitches and striking McDonald out.
They're alive in the Arizona State dugout. The Sun Devils must win to force a 3rd game with Wichita State on Friday night. Pat Mears 0 for 3 in the ball game. Farmer misses. What a comeback by Arizona State. 1 pitch away from elimination. And they got 3 straight singles to tie it. Good fastball. We've seen 2 outstanding pitching performances tonight. Ryan Dodd in relief for Arizona State. A marvelous job coming in the 1st inning and shutting Wichita State down for the next 7 1/3. Way outside, 2-1.
I remember 1979, the last day of the season. I was with the Houston Astros. We were playing the Los Angeles to say was batting with 2 outs and a tying run on second base. Season's over if he doesn't get a hit. That is one of the all-time memories I have of Major League Baseball. He got a base hit. A clutch performance like Barola and these guys tonight. That's what baseball's all about.
Fastball from Gordy Farmer.
Being able to come through in the clutch.
Farmer has been used both as a starter and reliever this season. 8 starts. This is his 9th relief appearance. Got him with a slider. 3 strikeouts for Gordy Farmer. He's faced 4 batters since coming on. 2 men out in the bottom of the 9th.
It's another good breaking ball, and he's starting it in the strike zone, and it breaks out. And that's the toughest curveball to hit, is one, a breaking ball that starts in the strike zone and then breaks out of the strike zone. You'd rather have it be a strike if you're the hitter. At least you have a better chance of making contact.
Jim Audley, number 9 man in the order, takes a strike with a fastball. Sam Rosen and Joe Morgan here at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Game 11 of the College World Series. Wichita State 2-0, Arizona State 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning, game tied 3-3. Breaking pitch, did it hit him? Yes, it got him in the back leg. Sharp breaking ball hit Audley in the left foot, and he's on with 2 men out.
It's a sharp breaking ball that Audley cannot move his back leg out of the way, and it hits him on the calf of his left leg.
Audley with good speed at first. Mike Lansing, the batter. Against the left-hander, Wichita State couldn't do much running. Now let's see if they run on the right-hander. Audley with 19 stolen bases. You see the numbers. Runner fakes. Good breaking pitch over to Mike Lansing. Lansing hit the ball hard his last time up. He lined to the shortstop, Pat Listash. He's 1 for 3, singled and scored back in the first.
If you're Wichita State and you do have guys that can steal bases, I think you have to send them. I would have to send them here, because even if I don't make it, so what? We start, still have the bottom of the 10th inning. But if I'm able to steal a base here and put more pressure on their defense, where I can win the ball game with a single, I have to try to take it.
Audley with a good lead. He holds. Breaking pitch over. 0-2 to Lansing. Wichita State has had only 2 hits since the first inning, both by Mark Standiford. So the bats have been quiet.
Well, Brian Dodd did a great job in relief of Linty Ingram, and now so is Farmer. Farmer's doing a great job. Gordy Farmer has pitched a couple of innings now, and he's been right on target.
Step off to see if Audley was leaning. Hit in the air to left center field. Barola is right there. And the side's retired. We go to extra innings. Gordy Farmer puts down Wichita State. One more time. The Shockers scored all 3 runs in the first inning. Arizona State has made the dramatic comeback. And we go to the top half of the 10th inning with Arizona State trying to stay alive in the World Series. Gordy Farmer, a fine relief effort on his part.
Attention. Gold Star. After all, when you pay attention to what people want, people pay attention to you. Gold Star, the brightest star in electronics.
Wichita State got 3 in the first off Linty Ingram and sent him out of the game right away. But Brian Dodd came on to shut them down. And Gordy Farmer has followed. Arizona State rallying with 2 runs in the 9th inning, 3 straight singles with 2 men out. Candelaria, Parola, and Listach. David Haas hasn't been able to get the last out in the ball game twice now. 8 2/3 innings in both his starts. Relief pitcher Jim Newland to start the top half of the 10th inning. And Kevin Higgins will get another chance. He's 0 for 3 thus far in the ball game. Ball hard a couple of times. Goes back to the dugout. May not like that bat. All right, wants another one. Might have a dent in it.
Well, you don't think it had cork in it, do you?
All right, now Kevin Higgins will come back. Minetar.
Hesitates right about there, and then he kind of slings the ball. See how he slings it across his body a little bit. That's why his follow-through carries it toward first base. Kind of throws it across his body. Like I say, that makes it a crossfire on a right-hander, which would make him more effective.
All right, now how do you play this with Steve Willis?
I would bunt.
Hitter.
Well, I would bunt, but I'm not the coach.
Well, I'm asking your opinion.
My opinion is when I fought back from a deficit like Arizona State has, if I can give myself a chance to win or go ahead in the ball game, I'm going to do it.
Willis, the cleanup man, 1 hit and 4 tries.
Even with my cleanup hit.
Willis wants another look at the sides to make sure. Everybody up in the Arizona State dugout.
That would say to me that he's not butting, because he wanted to make sure he wasn't missing the sign rather than getting one.
Forbes at third is in on the grass. Arizona State is claiming balk, and John Bible says no, he stepped off. Jim Brock calls time. He wants to question Jim Garman, the home plate umpire. No. He wants to call Steve miscommunication here.
No, I think he felt that Willis might have been confused by the way that he was looking at, at the third base coach. But then Jim Brock just gave a sign to Kevin Higgins at first base as if to say, stay there, stay close.
Higgins dives back. Maybe not as close as the coach would like. Higgins has stolen 11 bases, as you see. Smart base runner has a good lead. Willis squares and takes.
And see, another thing that can happen here is Jim Newland not being able to throw a strike. So I think he's doing the right thing. I would bunt, but here again, it's just a matter of knowing your personnel. Maybe Steve Willis is not a good bunter. If he's not, you can't force him to try to do something that he's not capable of doing. But Jim Brock knows him and he thinks he can get the job done, so he's going to bunt.
Squares, takes it way outside. Newland not even close.
Yeah, that's what happens. See, you're not used to throwing to a hitter that squares around a lot. I mean, it's not to say that you don't ever do it, but that's not something that happens every time you come into a ball game. And I think that's confused him a little bit. He's not keeping his eye on the catcher's glove. He's watching the hitter a little bit. And now the pitching coach is going to come out.
Brent Chemnitz picks a walk out. And Jim Brock with another consultation with his third base coach.
Well, I think what he wants to do here is say, hey, let's take one. We do not want to get him out of the jam by bunting this ball if he throws one strike out of 3. So I would think that they would probably take a pitch here and hope that it's a ball. But if it's not, it's still 2-1, and then go back to the bunt on the next pitch. But I tell you one thing, there will not be any miscommunication here. There will not be no one will be able to say I missed the sign.
But there was a case a couple of weeks ago, I think it was David Cohn. The coach called him down third base side and they said, squeeze. And he went back and he took it. The runner was caught off. He said he thought the coach was fooling. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. Top of the 10th, 3-3 the score. There's some smiles on the Arizona State bench. They've come from behind to tie it. Runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the 10th. Willis squaring, takes it in the dirt.
And he was going to take one all the way. He took the bat away right away. And that's a smart play. You cannot let him off the hook if he throws one strike after he's missed with 2 pitches. As you see an obvious Wichita State fan there, I guess.
Praying for the Shockers. We're not bearing to look right now. It's 3-0 on Steve Willis.
See, he should square around. Willis should square around again. Even though he's going to take the pitch, he should square around. That's the smart play.
Walked him on 4 pitches, none of which were close to the strike zone. Arizona State on 2 walks. And Gene Stevenson's going to bring in a new pitcher, I believe. Slow walk out to the mound. Pat Cedeno is coming in. Newland came on to get the last out last inning, but that's enough as he walks the first 2 here in the 10th. Newland will leave. Cedeno comes in.
Catch the excitement today at Schofield Pontiac GMC in a new Fiero from...
Get you up to date on the NHL awards. MVP, Defensive Player Awards, Tyson Spink's news conference. The big fight is just a couple of weeks away. A couple of trades in Major League Baseball, baseball highlights, and a lot more. So stay tuned for SportsCenter following tonight's College World Series game. Don't forget tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Cal State, Fullerton, and Stanford will battle it out. Kevin Higgins, the runner at second. Steve Willis, the runner at first. Nobody out for Arizona State here in the top of the 10th. Dan Rumsey, the batter, he doubled his last time up and scored. He started the 9th inning rally. Now, will he bunt? McDonald creeping in at first.
I think he will bunt.
Hit hard, foul. Whoa, he ripped that shot.
Shows that Jim Brock's smarter than I am.
And Rumsey, he took a rip. Pat Cedeno Maggio has come on for Wichita State, junior right-hander, 6'1", 200 pounds, from Pittsburgh, Kansas. This is his 24th appearance of the season, 18th in relief. He's 10-0 with 3 saves. They've used him as a starter, long reliever, and short reliever. Right now, they need a stopper. Again, first and third. Forbes is way in at third. They're putting on a play. Wichita State putting on a play. Rumsey swings away. Foul ball. Just foul.
I can't understand why they were putting on a bunt play there when the guy hadn't shown that he's going to bunt.
Not at all.
Because that ball was, if it's hit anywhere fair, it was going to be a base hit because no one was been able to cut it down. Look at these guys from first and third coming way in, and he swings. Look. Ooh, that's close. Just foul at first base. The one thing you have to remember, the ball does not have to hit chalk. All it has to do is go over the bag, and then it can hit in foul territory.
Rumsey is the leading RBI man for Arizona State with 89, and he's swinging the bat well. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Cedeno ahead on the count, 0-2. Missed with a fastball. Stevenson setting the defense.
He's telling the first baseman how deep to play there. He doesn't want Mike McDonald too deep.
Going to third, and Mears with a strong throw. He showed his arm a little bit, a calling card. 1 man out. Well, there's the effect of not putting the bunt on. Rumsey got his cuts, but end result, it's an out, and nobody gets to third base.
Well, here again, it's just a matter of philosophy. Jim Brock wanted Rumsey to have his cuts, and that's, you know, it's all perfectly good. One of the things about baseball, there's no one-way, set way to do it. There are always a couple of options. Obviously, the other option would have been to bunt. But getting Rumsey his cuts is another option, and that's the one that he chose, and that's the one that he wanted.
This man wants to have his cuts. Peralta's 0 for 4 in the ball game. I don't think he wanted that pitch on the inside, but he got away with it.
No, he didn't, but it's also, if you're the hitter, Peralta, and they hang one inside, you've got to go ahead and attack it. Especially the way they've been pitching him all evening, down, away, down, away.
If Peralta hits it on the ground, it's almost a sure double play. He has no speed whatsoever. He threw that fastball by him.
Well, they've been throwing a lot of breaking balls, and now he's kind of sitting on it, and they throw him a fastball, and you can see he's behind it. But even though he was behind the pitch, he had very good mechanics. His head stood still, and his body balance was good. His weight shift.
Line drive, base hit to right center field. Higgins around third will score. And Arizona State leads 4-3. Willis held at second. Martin Peralta on an 0-2 pitch drives in the go-ahead run. And Arizona State leads for the first time in the ball game. Willis, who does not have great speed, was held at second base.
But as I said, Peralta was in good balance to pitch before. Like I say, even though he missed it. And there you see, keeps good balance, and he goes the other way. That's good hitting. I could see the pitch before that even though he didn't catch up with it, he kept his balance well. And if you keep your balance distributed properly, you can get a base hit. There you see the go-ahead run being brought home by Kevin Higgins.
Walks, Joe. The walks come back to haunt. 2 walks and the base hit by Peralta.
But I still think Steve Willis should have gone to third base on that play. He was fumbled in the outfield, and he had a chance to, which would be a chance to give Arizona an insurance run.
Tim Spear has had a couple of hits in the ball game. Swings at that fastball. Still 1 out. Wichita State looking for a double play ball. Arizona State leading 4-3. homer by Paul Carey to win the game 6-5 in 10 innings and went on to win the national championship. Arizona State was one pitch away from elimination in this game and got 3 straight singles in the top of the 9th to tie it. They've gone ahead here in the top of the 10th. 1-1 to Spear. Good slider.
I don't think you can say enough about Arizona State's hitters and the way they adjusted. They started hitting the ball better off Haas later in the ball game after he had shut them down. And then they got down to their last strike a couple of times, and they were able to come up with base hits. And now they've gotten a big hit from Martin Peralta to put them ahead. So I don't think you can say enough about the way they've played tonight, even if they lose.
On the inside corner, Spear is called out. Good fastball by Cedeno.
We'll get another look at it. It's a fastball on the inside corner. Cedeno had been pitching him away, and then he comes back on the inside with a fastball. And Candelaria takes it for strike 3.
And here's, no, that was Spear who took it for strike 3. This is Ricky Candelaria stepping in. Good slider over.
Never been able to keep it this scoreboard.
Candelaria had that tremendous at-bat with 2 men out. He was 0-2 against Haas with a runner at third, 2 men out in the 9th inning. Stayed alive, throwing his bat at the ball, and on a 1-2 pitch, he singled to right. Swings at that fastball. Corolla followed with a single, and then Listash singled to tie the ball game.
After striking out 3 straight times, Listash came up with a base hit.
And Cedeno trying to stop further damage. Missed. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A run in for Arizona State. They lead Gene Stevenson's Wichita State Shockers 4-3 here in the 10th. Fastball misses up high. Cedeno showing a tremendous improvement this year. 10-0. Cut down his earned run average to 2.63. Fastball way out of the zone. Wedge.
I tell you what, he's rearing back and firing now, though. I mean, he's throwing hard. He's overthrowing, of course. That's why he can't get it in the strike zone. But I tell you what, it's getting up there in a hurry.
They're down in the Shockers dugout.
If they continue on and lose this ball game, it will have an effect on them Friday night, I guarantee it.
Arizona State wins. Same 2 teams Friday night for the right to play for the championship Saturday afternoon. 3-2. Runners go. Strike 3. Cedeno strikes out Spear and Candelaria. But Peralta on an 0-2 pitch got the big hit to drive in the go-ahead run. We go to the bottom of the 10th. 4-3 Arizona State. Arizona State, ranked number 1 and 1 pitch away, has come back to take a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. And the great relief pitching of the Sun Devils. First Brian Dodd and now Gordy Farmer. They have held Wichita State to just 2 hits since the first inning. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Wichita State. B.J. Forbes, the third baseman, leads it off. Strike 1. Forbes walked his first 2 times up, then hit back to the mound his next 2 times. Don't forget, there's always Standiford. He'll bat this inning. He's their leading home run man. Scheduled 3rd in the inning.
And he already has 3 base hits in the ball game.
Hit hard. Finn at 3rd. 1 man out.
gets in an excellent position, makes a quick move, gets down on the ball, keeps his eyes on the ball very well, watches it right into the glove on every play. I think that's why he's such a good fielder.
He makes good throws from third, too, Joe.
Very accurate arm.
Dan Raley. 1 for 3 in the game. Single to drive in a run in the first. Pops it up. Finn moving over. Will not have room. It's back in the crowd.
He tried.
Exchanging some pleasantries with Coach Gene Stevenson of Wichita State down in the third base box, who probably said, nice try. They were close to locking up a spot in the national championship game. Now they're 2 outs away from being all even in this series. Nice changeup by Farmer. Now the roles are reversed. It's Arizona State trying to lock up the victory. Pressure on Wichita State to come back. 1-2. Raley, leading hitter on the ball club, has not hit well thus far in the World Series. 3 for 11, but just hasn't stung the ball well at all. He's a good line drive hitter. Breaking pitch that fooled him, the check swing foul.
He had him all tied up with that breaking ball.
Jim Brock, he doesn't show much emotion, but he's told us he feels it, and it builds up inside, and it builds. He says the players can release it. He's got to keep it inside. Line drive, base hit for Raley. And a tying run is aboard for Wichita State. So Raley with a good piece of hitting. A 1-2 pitch.
It's a breaking ball, and it's down. It's a pretty good pitch down and away. And Raley reached out and lines it into center field for a base hit.
That's the first hitter other than Standiford to get a base hit. Joe Wilson will run. Joe Wilson, a junior from Anderson, Indiana, an outfielder, will pinch run for Dan Raley. First hitter other than Standiford to get a base hit since the first inning for Wichita State. Dan Raley getting the hit.
I don't think they will send him until Standiford hits. I would think that they would wait until after he hit and then maybe give Joey Wilson a chance to try to steal a base.
Numbers are in the order. Standiford 3 for 4 in the game. Breaking pitch misses. Ball 1. Wilson has stolen 7 bases and 8 tries. Standiford has hit the ball well. He is 7 for 12 in the World Series now. Slider for a strike. That was a hard slider. Don't forget, SportsCenter is coming up next here on ESPN following the conclusion of this ball game. Tom Mees and Terry Ross standing by, get you up to date on everything going on in sports today. Right here, Wichita State trying to mount the comeback. Runner goes. Pitch is hit to the shortstop. Loose bag. Only players to first. 2 men out.
That was a daring play by Gene Stevenson, but it works because I think that would have been a double play otherwise. Because Standiford doesn't run very well, and he hit the ball sharply.
Wilson, the tying run is at second. 2 men out, and here is Eric Wedge. Into a double play in the first, grounded a third, walked, and struck out his last time up in the 8th inning.
We thought we had a great ball game with Stanford and Miami. This is an even better ball game. This is a great ball game.
This is what World Series games should be like. Doug Kilgo, the pitching coach. First checking with the umpire. And now heading out to the mound, calling everybody in. All right, let's see what the discussion is here. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I think they're just trying to make sure they want to pitch very Eric Wedge the way the scouting report says, and also to position the infield the same way and make sure that everyone on the infield realize you have to knock the ball down. Do not let the ball go through. At the same time, Joey Wilson goes over to talk to Gene Stevenson to see what he wants him to do. He's trying to, I don't know if he's asking him about stealing third or what. I don't know if there's much conversation to be had there. You're on second base, you're the tying run, they're 2 down. Your job is to bring the mail home, as they say. So you're just going to take your lead and get a good jump on the base hit and try to score.
2 men out. Bottom of the 10th inning. Now it's Arizona State 1 out away from staying alive in the World Series and forcing another showdown with Wichita State Friday night. Eric Wedge, the catcher. Slider for a strike.
We've seen some pretty good clutch pitching as well in this series. You've seen guys paint the outside corner knee-high with good breaking balls. You've seen the guys hit the outside corner with good fastballs. So it's not just the hitters that are coming through. These pitchers are pitching well under pressure.
Good breaking pitch. And now Arizona State is 1 pitch away. Lindsey Ingram. It's been a long time since he was out on the mound.
And it's been a long time since he could smile.
In the dirt, Spear blocks it. 1-2. Sophomore Eric Wedge. The senior, Gordy Farmer. 4-3, Arizona State leading it. 2 out, bottom of the 10th. Hit hard. Knocked down by Finn. Does he have a play? They go. Ball game is over.
Great play.
Arizona State wins and stays alive.
Unbelievable play. We've also forget that he made a play with men on second and third that saved and kept the score at 3-1 that gave Arizona State a chance to come back. Great victory.
What a comeback by the #1 team in the nation. The Arizona State Sun Devils, down to their last strike in the 9th inning, come back with clutch hitting, great relief pitching, and a marvelous defensive play by John Finn to beat Wichita State 4-3, and the teams will meet again Friday night for the right to play in the championship. What a ball game. And Jim Brock releases a little bit of that tension by pumping the fist. Well, it's got to feel good. Frito-Lay player of the game, the starting pitcher for Wichita State, David Haas. An overpowering effort into the 9th inning. He was within 1 pitch of winning it. The player of the game for Arizona State, Brian Dodd, coming out of the bullpen in the 1st inning and shutting down Wichita State for 7 1/3. And it all ended on this play. Almost a game-tying base hit. Finn smothers it. Gets hold. It's a bad throw. 1 bounce, and Willis stays with it. And Arizona State waits. They got to make sure. Is he out? Yes.
It's a great shot, guys.
Look at Brian Dodd, number 17. The coach, Jim Brock. They'll meet again Friday night. We'll be right back. You know what? State is now 3-1 in the World MasterCare. Play of the game. It has to be the final play. It saves the ball game for Arizona State. Farmer delivers the breaking pitch. Wedge hits it hard. Finn stops it. Throws the 1 bouncer. But look at Willis. That's a good play by Willis. Don't forget that. Finn. What a clutch play. And Willis holds on. And Arizona State stays in it. Don't forget tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The game between Stanford and Cal State Fullerton. Fullerton, unbeaten, needs a win to move into the championship game. Stanford, like Arizona State, will be trying to stay alive. Arizona State did it. Tomorrow night, Ron Franklin and Jim Cott will bring you the action beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Tonight, here at Rosenblatt Stadium, the #1 team in the nation, Arizona State, down 3-0 in the first inning, down 3-1 in the ninth, down to their last pitch. Came through with 3 straight singles to tie it, and then won it in the 10th inning with a run. And great relief pitching from left-hander Brian Dodd and right-hander Gordy Farmer. Arizona State will play again. Same 2 teams for the showdown. The first time the teams met, Wichita State won it 7-4. Then Arizona State, coming through the losers bracket, has stayed alive with wins over Florida and Wichita State. John Finn, one of the heroes with his great defense. But there were several heroes for Arizona State tonight. That makes them the #1 team in the nation. For Joe Morgan, this is Sam Rosen. Once again, the final score, Arizona State 4.
Who the final 4 are? Wichita State had the day off today, and I'm sure it wasn't very pleasant for them after losing last night's game. It was
Chance
a
to
rough
regroup
loss.
a little bit.
Yeah, and they may do it. They came back from adversity in the regionals to beat Oklahoma State after losing, so they may still do it. 4 teams are still alive at the College World Series in Omaha, including, of course, the Wichita State Shockers. Tonight, Stanford was playing for its life against Cal State Fullerton, and here in the bottom or the top of the second inning, the Cardinal gets its runs in odd ways. First, one man walks in, then 1 run scores on an almost double play that wasn't quite turned, and another run scores when they pitch out Cal State Fullerton and then get the guy hung up, and they don't even get the runner at first base, but another run scores, and it's 3-0 Stanford, and then Stanford shows that they can play some defense here in the 8th inning, turning a double play, and on the scoreboard, they went on to win 4-1 against Cal State Fullerton, so both of those teams have 1 loss. That sets up tomorrow's action at 4:10. Arizona State will play Wichita State. Whoever wins that game will advance to the championship. Stanford and Cal State Fullerton will play again at 7:10 tomorrow night, and whoever wins that will be the other team on Saturday's championship game of the College World Series. Well, destiny seemed to turn against the Shockers last night as they lost to Arizona State 4-3 in 10 innings. Twice they were 1 strike away from the win, and only a miraculous defensive play by the Sun Devils prevented the Shocks from tying the game in the bottom of the 10th. But as Cake Sports Director Mark Allen reports from Omaha, this isn't the first time fate has played a trick on Wichita State.
Phil Stevenson had a great career as a Wichita State Shocker. Playing for his older brother, Phil had an NCAA record 47-game hitting streak in 1981, and the following season was named College Baseball's Player of the Year. But it was also 6 years ago that Phil forever etched his name in College World Series history as the victim of that now famous phantom pickoff play, executed to perfection by eventual national champion Miami.
They'd set it up real well. It was a time of day similar to what it'll be when the game about starts here at 7 o'clock. Just a freak kind of deal. This pitcher had been setting it up well by stepping off the rubber and throwing over all game long. That one time, for instance, he didn't throw. With the sun being in my eyes, it fooled not only myself and Brian Elkers, who was coaching first base, it fooled 15,000 other people here in the ballpark, and most of the camera that was watching the action. And I just got up and I made the cardinal error of not finding the baseball before taking off, and they used to say I was tagged out at second base.
And 6 years later, they are still talking about that play here at the College World Series. As for the '88 Shockers, they're hoping they won't be remembered as the team that came within 1 strike of playing for a national championship.
Aaron Scott, 25, the Magic Man, 22. The final 108-98, Game 3, Sunday here on CBS in the Silver Dome. Well, we will have to wait another day to find out what teams will advance into the championship game of the College World Series. The defending champion, Stanford Cardinal, knocked off the lone tourney undefeated team, Cal State Fullerton, tonight 4-1. Now, the same 2 teams square off again tomorrow after the Shocker Sun Devil matchup to see who will represent their division in the title game. Showdown in Omaha. That's what I like to call tomorrow's game between Arizona State and Wichita State. The game will be more than a battle of the sticks. As Bruce Hurdle reports, it may be a battle of the gray matter.
Much of what happens for the Shocks tomorrow will be dictated by what goes on out here on the mound.
But beyond that physical key, the Shocks will be playing a mental game as well, one that centers around forgetting about last night.
Twice, they were within one strike of advancing into the finals. But A-State rallied for 2 runs with 2 out to tie it, sending the game into extra innings, where they eventually won by 1.
We didn't play bad last night. It's just a deal where Arizona State's got a good club and they beat us. So we can't do anything about that. We just got to come back out and play again on Friday.
It's times like these when a coach becomes as much psychologist as strategist.
We've got to convince them we're no different than we were going into yesterday. We still got to win 2 games and win a national championship. We're no different. Sure, we're disappointed. Last night's game's a second-guesser's delight, but you got to forget it. You got to look ahead. You got to go in and say, hey, let's win 2 ball games. Let's go for a national championship.
Just like between the white lines, the mental game is played with 2 teams. While the Shockers are trying to minimize Wednesday's disappointment, the Sun Devils are looking to cash in on it.
And they feel like in their mind that they have the momentum. At least that's what they're telling their team. The thing that, you know, I would hope is that maybe they're coming in a little overconfident. Maybe they're thinking, hey, you know, the first time out was a fluke. We know we're going to win this game. Maybe, they're looking to the championship game a little bit.
It's not like the Shocks haven't been in this situation before. Just 2 weeks ago, they lost their first championship game in the Midwest Regional, only to beat Oklahoma State on their home field in the finale.
This team has an even keel. They don't get too excited about too many things, but on the same standpoint, they don't get too low. They manage to keep things in perspective. I think that's the strength of this team, and we need to, use that to our advantage the next 2 nights.
Understandably, Arizona State feels like they have the upper hand psychologically, but the Shockers are armed with a season full of intangibles that have carried them this far.
I'd like to be in our position because I have a lot of faith in our kids. They've shown a lot of heart and a lot of stuff during the year that a lot of other teams haven't shown.
At the College World Series in Omaha, Bruce Ortle, My Witness Sports.
Just a reminder, Bruce will join us live tomorrow to set the stage for that game. Well, the bad luck woes continue for the AL West Division leading Oakland.